Do you agree with the statement? Should men stop dating? I don't know. Should I say broke women?
If it's what he said.
Men position themselves as providers. That's all they position themselves as. They want the women to cook. They want the women to clean. They want the women to take care of the children. They want the women to drop off the children at school while they focus on making only money. I honestly feel like that's not enough. You're gonna have to meet these women halfway. It's not everything you can quantify.
Halfway where?
It's not everything you can quantify by money. Right? So you go out, you work, and you bring money to the table. That's not all the family needs.
How many of us knows any marriage or family where that actually happens? Where, or do you think the guy does is brings money and she takes, the wife stays?
I know a few.
Because most of the families I know, they both bring money and the guy also has to.
When you say they both, that means the woman is working over.
Yeah. There was a time at the time when we were growing up, we hear full housewife. My man are full housewife. My man are full housewife. We don't hear things like that anymore. So it means that times have changed. Economy is tougher. The world is tougher now. There's no family right now that can survive based off of
One
Just one provider.
fight.
I say this as a married man. I know what my wife contributes and brings to our family as a union. Do you understand? She doesn't sit and just wait that I should go and bring.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
No one does that.
Women are too smart to be that. But the problem now is that we have a lot of people dating F-boys and different runs girls in Lagos and are just living a fictional, stupid life.
But he didn't say broke though, he said liability.
He said
Yeah, yeah.
liability.
And I think he chose that word.
Okay, so
Let me assume.
what is liability
Yeah,
to you?
because the girl can maybe not be broke and still be a liability. Because she has a job and she has money doesn't
being
actually
irresponsible.
mean she's putting anything into the relationship. She could just be one of those girls that just expects you to put your emotions, your money, your time, your finances into the relationship to prove that you're worthy of.
So she's not invested
She's not
while you
invested
invest in
Yes,
everything.
It's not necessarily broke. It's just saying have standards and definitely don't be with a woman that doesn't value you.
On today's quick fire, we are running it down to, some of the things that has happened over the week. There was a video I saw of two people talking about where they are in terms of relationships and how they perceive men and women today. And during the week, Pastor Kingsley, of course, was on the spotlight again, but this time he said something that has the internet in a chokehold. He said men should stop dating broke ladies. It's a simple statement, but the comment section was absolutely chaos. So tonight we are heading straight to the comment section to hear what people are saying. Now I got crazy comments here. I'm going to be reading them one at a time, but before I do that,
Male or female?
different comments. But before I do that, do you agree with the statement? Should men stop dating? I don't know. Should I say broke women?
If it's what he said.
Is it?
If that's
Which
what he
other word do you
said.
want to use?
Yeah, but I'm asking, is it a thing?
So I think it's you can see the tweet on the screen.
Yeah.
So he didn't use the word broke. He was just talking about women that are liabilities. Yeah.
So the first statement says, men, it's high time we start having standards as well. You guys are too used to women that are liabilities. That's why less and less men desire marriage. They see it as a burden, aka broke.
Yeah, you gotta be with a woman who kind of gets you. Do you understand? And a woman who has her own standards, who knows that her life has to go on without you, if you were in the picture or not. Do you understand? So if we're saying, don't date a woman who is going to be a liability, or even a woman who is broke, it's a personal thing to a certain extent.
That's one thing I'm gonna have to say. It's a personal thing because some men love to be the providers. They love to be so that would not mean anything to them. They love to be the one who provides. She has to cook. She has to do, take care of the kids and stuff like that. At the end of the day, when it comes to relationships, one thing I always say is that it's very personal from person to person. So you have to find who's your person. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't say broke though, he said liability.
He said
Yeah.
liability.
And I think he chose that word.
Okay, so
Let me
what is
assume.
liability to you?
because
Like,
the girl can maybe not be broke and still be a liability.
okay, also.
God
True.
bless you.
Because she has a job and she has money doesn't
being
actually
irresponsible.
mean she's putting anything into the relationship. She could just be one of those girls that just expects you to put your emotions, your money, your time, your finances into the relationship to prove that you're worthy of.
So she's not invested
She's
while
not
you
invested
invest in
relationship. Yes,
everything.
It's not necessarily broke. he's just saying have standards and definitely don't be with a woman that doesn't value you. You know, that's how me I saw it, which I think is common sense.
So it's not just financial.
It's not just financial.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you for saying that. You know, Pastor Kingsley is I'm a very loyal member of the flock. So I don't want to be.
Is it Pastor that said it?
Yeah. So I don't want to be biased, but my issue is, it's a known fact that men marry down, women marry up.
Yep.
In most situations, men marry down, women marry up. So my question now is is he saying men should stop marrying down and start looking at women marrying, looking to marry up or marry at a peer? So that destabilizes the traditional African Nigerian format of marriage in terms of respect and expectations. So that's the dicey part that I see. So the funny thing is that, so if a man decides, okay, fine, like there's this saying about how you could have been born poor, your father could have been broke, but you have the opportunity to make sure your father-in-law is not a broke person. So when people now start looking at that kind of aspect, it takes out the true value of marriage and the relationship. It takes away from love and commitment. It's about what you have, what you possess, and what you basically bring to the relationship.
But isn't that what marriage used to be? It's just this new wave of love and being all.
So because the problem is that because everything has been monetized, so women are always, here's the funny thing, it's almost like, and we've said this on the show before, marriage has been designed for women.
Who designed it?
Do you understand?
The creator.
We, society.
No,
society to an extent.
primarily is men.
Creator.
So, no, but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Because biblically, sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Biblically, the instruction says, men, love your wife. So it's an instruction to men to love their wives.
So to love
marriage
It's not
is-
for women to love men.
No, women to submit.
Women to submit,
So
but not
women-
to love men.
Yeah.
Men
So
love
that makes
women.
sense.
Men love women submit.
Yeah.
So submission comes from a place of provision to a large extent.
For them.
So for what you can do.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's quite dicey because, so a lot of women now take care of me. They now feel like you're supposed to provide, protect, pay the rent, bring the house, pay the fees, do all of that, bring all the finances, bring. So women at the end of the day, even when divorces happen, women are at the advantage.
Yeah.
When there's a separation, women are at the advantage. So I mean, a lot of women try to spite men by saying, I'm going to take your kids away from you and take everything away from you. So what he's just trying to say here, I think he's just saying men need to wisen up and understand that you need to put yourself as at an advantage as well and know the woman you are marrying. Now, a lot of men these days, I don't know, are you married?
Not yet.
When he said not yet, like, God forbid. Like, no.
He said it like
Headless.
soon.
Are you getting head?
No. Not yet, man.
Not yet. You know, I know your status. Do you understand? So the question is to you guys now. So the concern is that maybe you guys that should be married at this point in time in your lives and career are not because of how the modern woman is. So what he's telling you guys now is that you guys need to check the modern woman and make sure you find the right one.
Okay, so the good thing is this, this particular block on the show isn't about us, it's about the comment section.
Okay.
And we're taking this excerpt from Instablog Nigeria. And we're just going to be reading a few of the comments after Pastor Kingsley put that out. We have from Survival T. He says, like this man. Okay, so it says, like this man is getting astray. Men, please marry what you desire. Because if women begin to charge for their values, then in bracket we have house, chores, cooking, school runs, prayer times, pregnancy, etc. Many of us will go bankrupt. Though I feel the society undervalue women, and we all assume they should be financially contributing partners. However, there's nothing bad for a woman to help us with finances when they can. This is from Survival T. I think he's just trying to, balance the narrative and talk about the fact that women go beyond just, what we can get from them. Yeah. Then we have another comment here. This is from Exclusive Glow Limited. It says, I'm sorry to say this, men will never set such standards because majority of them like marrying below. So they will, they say we like to marry below so that we're able to manipulate the woman. Rich women are well exposed they're intelligent, hardly get manipulated, and knows they are right. Majority of men will run from such women because they can't easily subdue them. I'm going to take one more comment.
I guarantee you the person that comment is from a female that is single.
Okay, so I'm going to take one more comment, and then we can now break it down. And this one says, this is from Oshike Oshoike.
I know that person now.
I'm
playing.
It says, take away a man's financial capacity. You are left with barely nothing. So don't start this fight. Speaking as an independent, capable woman. Let me just take one more. Let me take just one more, and then, yeah. This one says, this is from Chimi Viv. And she says, who still listens to this man passing through midlife crisis? I find that very offensive.
Are you going to take that?
I find that very offensive.
It's not talking to him.
What's that?
She's entitled to her opinion.
Yeah.
Sometimes, see, let me not lie to you. From the statements and the words that come out of your mouth, you can tell a lot about someone's character.
Absolutely.
Do you understand? Let me not lie to you. I'm not a blind follower. Do you understand? I'm fortunate enough to be part of his congregation. Do you understand? And a lot of the things that he says make sense because he's a marriage counselor. That's one of his core, his core strengths in terms of marriage, love, dating, and marriage and whatnot. So it's easy to attack him because under the guise of a man of God, and we know Christianity continues to be attacked. But in all honesty, the truth is that any relationship that is based on finances already is a shaky foundation.
I want to read something to you guys, and I need you to help me because what I read here is a bit funny. This is from Sylvia Abanyoro, and it goes, most men have nothing to offer a woman apart from provision. And they know that in their hearts. They know they have absolutely nothing to offer a woman who has her own money. So as you raise your standards to financial capability, so be sure your character and emotional intelligence can meet hers too.
Olamide,
what is going on in the world?
Here's the thing, but that's the point I was trying to make. So she's saying all of this as an independent woman or an independent man. Take away your finances, you that you're a woman. Take away the man's finances, put the woman and man together. What can you guys bring to yourselves?
Can I say something? And you guys are going to hate me for this. Right?
We're going to hate you.
Yeah, I love you guys, but you guys are going to hate me.
I love you too.
I'm going to be real with you all. Men position themselves as providers. That's all they position themselves as.
Right? What do you mean by men position themselves as
again, whether it's biblical or whether it's, some people are not biblical followers, right? So whether it's biblical or not, that's another side, right? But men position themselves as providers, and that's all they do. They want the women to cook. They want the women to clean. They want the women to take care of the children. They want the women to drop off the children at school while they focus on making only money, right?
Yeah, because we can't have periods.
And
we keep going.
And I'm going to say this, that I honestly feel like that's not enough. You're gonna have to meet this woman halfway. It's not everything you can quantify.
Halfway where?
It's not everything you can quantify by money, right? So you go out, you work, and you bring money to the table. That's not all the family needs.
Can I ask a
What
question?
else does the
I'll
family
ask
need?
I'll ask a question. How many of us knows any marriage or family where that actually happens? Where the only thing the guy does is brings money and the wife stays.
I know a few.
Because most of the families I know, they both bring money and the guy also has to.
When you say they both, that means the woman is working overboard. That means the woman. Listen, that means the woman is doing. That means the woman is doing way more than the man is doing. The man is bringing way more to the table than the man.
The man is actually also working at home.
Okay, so he's working, she's working, but then she's also cooking, and then she's also taking care of the children.
He also cooks. He also takes care of the children.
Let's say what Kojo has to say.
I believe most of us are millennials here, and what's the generation before millennials?
Boomers.
Gen X.
Boomer.
Okay, Gen X.
Okay.
Gen X is
The way he looked at me like, what generation is this guy?
Gen X.
So we come from an
I'm
African.
both. I'm a Gen X millennial.
And then a boomer.
No, I'm not a boomer.
Oh, Jesus.
We come from an African tradition where the man takes care of the house, like finances and all of that. For instance, I like to speak for myself when I talk about these things. I grew up in a house where, my dad insisted that my mom shouldn't work at the time because he was the sole provider for the house. But, my mom is wired to do business. While he insisted that she shouldn't work, she used to still sell stuff from the house. So my dad died early. And when my dad passed, things became tough. But this is what I noticed. My mom now, went into business fully in a very short time. In a space of 2 years, my mom grew a business from 0 to 1 million. Now, so what this means is, if my dad had given my mom the liberty to do business when they were married, the effect of his passing would not have affected us the way it did. Now, so I like to speak for myself. So at the time, we even saw a lot of Nigerian and African marriages where men were sole providers. There was a time at the time when we were growing up, we hear full housewife. Mama na full housewife. Mama na full housewife. We don't hear things like that anymore. So it means that times have changed. And I feel like it's not even practical anymore. Economy is tougher. The world is tougher now. There's no family right now that can survive based off of
one provider.
Providing.
But
it can't happen. The person would die.
No more enough.
That's
a lot of what's happening today for me is that it comes from a lot of single people that are not in relationships, that have failed and don't know what's happening. I'm telling you,
it's a lot of bitterness.
And I say this as a married man. I say this as a married man. I know what my wife contributes and brings to our family as a union. Do you understand? She doesn't sit and just wait that I should go and bring. And that's what it's all about.
No one does that.
Women are too smart to be that. But the problem now is that we have a lot of people dating F-boys and different runs girls in Lagos and are just living a fictional, stupid life that can now come and be questioning people that are trying to add some balance and reality to your life and say, this one is going astray, this one is doing that. Apply common sense to yourself. You as a woman, first of all, so you can't bring anything or do anything. You just want a man that has it all and just picks you and selects you as a wife. You will never be happy in that marriage.
Honestly,
do you want to be put on the spot?
Yes.
You want to be put on the spot? Okay, so this doesn't affect the conversation.
Yes, put me on that spot.
I just want to put him on the spot, for example. So your wife contributes.
Yes.
Does she contribute financially?
Yes, of course.
She contributes financially?
Yes.
Do you clean the house? Do you cook? Do you take the children to school?
Here's the funny thing.
Okay.
So let me tell you, here's the funny thing. And Olamide knows. When it's time for me to do school runs, I will do school runs. If my environment is unclean, I'm not going to sit in dirt and wait for my wife to come.
No, I'm saying this because I know you.
So,
and we've had the conversation where you talked about, dropping the kids at school. So I'm saying this because I know you.
I want to give you true circumstance.
Yeah.
I told my wife, you will never be able to outcook me. So it's almost like a competition.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Because when I was a single guy, let me not lie to you.
Yeah.
I can see what's going on.
Here's the funny thing. When I was a single person, you think I was waiting for somebody to feed me?
Yeah.
I wasn't. I learned how to do certain things. I cooked my first meal when I was 10 years old.
So you all dudes out there better learn.
Hunger will make you do things.
Stuff. Yeah.
Not that you sit down and wait.
I asked because we've had the conversation before.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I wanted like dudes out there to know. Like if you're going to be demanding stuff,
you actually have to meet,
I'm not making up, but most dudes are like this.
To add to
no bad.
To add to what
not all dudes are like gang, by the way.
Bad just said most dudes are like
Gang is the
that.
most faithful man in Lagos. And that
exactly.
That's
I don't know
about faithful. But I'm saying, as far as helping in the house, the kids, the runs, the cleaning, cooking, most guys are like this.
But that's not like that's a very
most. Did you say
thing.
most?
Millennial Gen Z. Not most. Exactly.
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch. If we're being honest.
Higher or less than 50?
Less than 50.
Less than 50.
He said less than 50.
I agree. Less than 50. Less than 20.
I wouldn't take it that far.
Okay, you know what? While we're arguing on the data and the numbers, we'll take a quick break.
Like you just talk to your friends and you know
it was a mess.
what your friends are
When we
saying.
return, the black table continues.